Aloha, good morning. It's Aloha Friday, June 27th. It's now 8:23 in the morning. We just finished up our second container movement of the day. We started at 6. We picked up an empty from our yard and took it over to the shipping terminal, which didn't open till 7. So we sat in that queue for half an hour or so. Got inside and took us another 20 minutes to get in-gated and stripped off our empty, parked our chassis, and then we went and picked up our second movement, which was a full 20-foot container full of frozen goods coming down here to the vending machine warehouse, vending machine distributor warehouse inside Pearl Harbor. Hooked up to that 20-foot chassis, which had been stretched out, which is good for bulk items, but it's not good for container loads because then you can't back flush to a dock. So we had to fix that, and then we found out it was a flat tire, had to get that fixed. So yeah, went through a full inspection coming into Pearl Harbor. They had me open up all the doors and compartments. It's been one of those mornings where things are just like nothing terrible has gone wrong. It's just that it's been just a lot of extra work happening. But we got that second dropped off, and now we're kind of dedicated to the Navy supply distribution again. So we got 2 full containers left to pick up. In the meantime, though, I think we'll swing by the distribution center and pick up an empty to take back to the shipping terminal. Try to stay productive. Making our way through Pearl Harbor here. Again, most military bases are nothing more than big laydown yards, you know, warehouses. Nowadays with telephones and GPS, it's a little bit easier to find where you're going. Back in the day, before telephones, before cell phones, before GPS, finding an address in Pearl Harbor was unless you'd been there before or knew somebody who'd been there. I remember when I first started out, cell phones were still pretty new, and we were still using walkie-talkies, and the idea of Google Maps and stuff like that hadn't come along yet. So anytime you had to come in Pearl Harbor, you always would call up like the most senior driver in the company and say, "Have you ever been to this place before? Where the heck is it?" So when all else fails, find the driver that's been there before and ask him. So we're going to make our way out through the Makalapa gate here. Second busiest gate into Pearl Harbor. Of course, as you might guess, security is a little on the high side. There's a lot of activity here at the gate. with all the obstacles, things have been going pretty smooth. So we'll head over to Navy Supply Distribution, pick up an empty, take that back, pick up a full, bring that back, pick up an empty, take that back, pick up a full, bring that back. Then we'll head back over here to the vending machine distribution warehouse and pick up that empty. And that'll pretty much be the day for me. Like again, I only work till 12. I have a 2:30 appointment this afternoon I got to get to, so. So I woke up this morning, the temperature was already 77 degrees. According to the dash here, we're at 83 already. Of course, that's always a little warm. It's probably more like 81. So, has anybody been here since yesterday after I left? Let's count the empties and find out. 'Cause I left 11 empties. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Nope. Same one. So yeah, some people call this a Navy Supply Distribution Center because there's a big sign on the building that says Distribution Center. I think it also has a big sign that says Home Gallery, something like that. Some people call it the NEX. Some people call it Building 1684. So it goes by a lot of different names. You never know which one you're going to come across when you get a delivery slip. Building 1684 is the one that's the most difficult to find because nobody realizes that's the name of the building. All buildings in the Pearl Harbor have a building number. They say it corresponds to when the building was actually built. As to, 1684 was built before 1685, but it was built after 1683. Anyway, let's get hooked up here. First rule of empties, make sure it's empty. That's empty. It smells like furniture. So yeah, we'll take this back to the shipping terminal at Sand Island and then pick up a full and bring that back here. Round and round we go. Some places in the military bases, before they allow you to take away an empty, somebody's got to look inside it or it's got to be sealed. Every warehouse might have different rules. Something to be aware of sometimes. When you pick up from these federal job sites especially, they want to make sure empties are empty. But yeah, making our way back to the shipping terminal. Well, that's it. We can shut it down. It's 11:53. So we came in at 6 o'clock. Even though the shipping terminal didn't open until 7, we did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 container movements. We drove 60 miles. It didn't feel like I did that much today. I'm surprised at 8. Truck's running good. We're available this weekend. As to whether or not they're gonna do anything on Saturday, I don't know. I'll check with them. Last week they told me no, and then they called me up later that night and said, hey, you know, we thought about it. We're gonna give it a shot. I don't think it worked out that well, but I mean, we did some work. But definitely going to be here on Sunday, because that's when there's a lot of work. Uh, 163,852. 163,852. Yeah, the shipping terminal was on a modified schedule, so they're closed now for lunch until 1 o'clock, which works out well for me because I'm headed home. I gotta tell you though, I don't miss working full-time one bit. I mean, I could understand if I needed the money. You know, it's exciting to work long hours when you're, you know, when you're hungry. But when you're not, 6 hours is enough. At least it is for me. So we're gonna head on home, make some lunch. I got some noodles and some hamburgers. I'm gonna make like a hamburger helper type thing with some leftover salad. That's what's for lunch, maybe dinner. But that is it for today. We might be back tomorrow, we'll see. Thanks for watching. Aloha.